Hello everyone. Today in this video we will be seeing what is the importance of food traceability in food safety. So it's a very important topic. So we'll be discussing and learning what exactly is the traceability, and then why it is important in ensuring food safety, then what are the different types of traceability system, and then what are the techniques that are used in ensuring traceability. So now, before moving on to what is traceability, let us see why traceability is of importance now. So due to the improved product quality and increased safety awareness in the recent years, traceability has become increasingly important among manufacturers and has been incorporated into almost every field we can imagine. It is not only in food or pharmaceutical industries, these are being incorporated into the automotives, electronics, etc. So if at all there's a quality problem that is occurring, the manufacturers must be able to take quick, effective action. And if it is a slow or an ineffective response from the manufacturer, that will create a sense of mistrust among the consumers or business partners, and this may even endanger the existence of the company. In addition to it, even laws have been implemented to protect the consumers. So the number of companies that must be able to withdraw their products quickly due to problems has been growing year after year. So basically, traceability allows us to have a control at all the times. And also, we will be able to know when and where a product was manufactured, what stages or places it went through in the distribution process, and finally, who consumed it. So let's see what exactly the consumers want. Consumers have many things to consider while buying a food. That includes what is the price of the product, how much is the quantity of it, how is the quality, diet and health issues, even the product brands, which is a marketing aspect. And in terms of the food products, we'll be seeing use by date, manufacturing dates, instruction for use, etc. In addition to all this, consumers should definitely want to know whether the food that they are buying is safe or not. Therefore, let us define traceability. Traceability or product tracing is defined by the Codex Alimentarius Commission as the ability to follow the movement of a food through specified stages of production, processing, and distribution. So traceability within the food control system is applied as a very important tool to control the food hazards, provide reliable product information, and guarantee the product authenticity. Thereby, they will be able to have the consumer trust. And the system for traceability should be designed such that it should be practical, it should be technically feasible, and also it should be economically viable. Such systems should only be designed for the traceability purpose. Now, traceability can be utilized and or it is very necessary for a variety of business purposes. In terms of food, it is very important when there is a product recall or market withdrawal. So product recall is nothing but the removal of any food product from any stage. It could be from the distribution stage, or it can be even from the consumer end due to certain issues. It could be a presence of a contamination or a potential hazard that can become a health issue or a health risk to the consumers, and therefore the organization decides to take back the product. So product recall is nothing but you are withdrawing the product from the market, not just from the market, even from the consumer ends, and then they will be taking back, and then it can be the product can be sometimes, if it is possible, they even reprocess it, or if that possibility is not there, they might even destroy it according to the rules and regulations and based on the extent of contamination or hazard, etc. So in such a case, whenever there is a product recall, we to get back where exactly the product is, traceability is highly important, and without traceability, it is going to be uh, very difficult, or it is not at all possible. Then regulatory compliance, for the purpose of regulatory compliance, then market access, also public health trace bags, and food safety and quality assurance, and process and order management. Now, why traceability is so very important? It is important for getting the contaminated or out of specification product removed from the marketplace as quickly as possible. As I said, the previous example of product recalls. Then it helps the companies to identify the batch or lots of material that are impacted by an event, and so allows those impacted products out the marketplace as soon as possible. And without a traceability system, companies will be forced to recall a large amount of impacted product due to its inability to identify the materials, and resulting in greater product waste and cost to the business. So if there is a proper traceability system, then we will be able to identify the exact batch or the particular lot of the product which has been affected. Otherwise, if we are not able to identify it, we will have to destroy the entire product, or that becomes very hectic, and it leads to a lot of wastage, and then even it will be adding on to the cost to the business. So the various traceability objectives are: firms have three primary objectives while using a traceability system. That is to improve the supply management, facilitate trace back for food safety and quality purposes, then differentiate and market the foods with suitable or undetectable quality attributes. So these are the main traceability objectives. Now, traceability in a production chain. So traceability in the production chain allows us to track and control the products from the acquisition of raw materials and parts through the assembly or production and ending in the distribution or sale. So manufacturers may have a record or history of a particular item. It, the history can be like to know about where their products have been delivered to, while the customers and consumers would be able to know where the products they hold in their hands come from. Now, now based on the activity and direction, the traceability is defined into two types. That is, under activity, it is classified into internal traceability and external traceability. And based on the direction, it has forward traceability and backward traceability. We will see in detail what are these. So, according to the activity, as I said, it is classified into two types. First is the external traceability. So, external traceability requires all the traceable items to be uniquely identified, and all information should be shared between all affected distribution channel participants. The identification of products for the purpose of traceability will include a unique product identification number and even batch or lot number. So basically, the external traceability refers to the tracing of products between the players within the supply chain. So with the help of identification numbers or lot or batch numbers, the so basically with the help of identification numbers, lot or batch numbers, the product can be traced both from the supplier as well as from the chain ends. So if that was a case about external traceability, now what is internal traceability? So internal traceability is the linkage of raw materials to those of the finished goods. Uh, so when one material is combined with others and processed, reconfigured or repacked, The new product must have its own unique product identifier. A label showing the lot number of the product traceable input product should remain on the package until the entire traceable product is depleted. So internal traceability means to monitor basically the movement of the parts or the products within a limited specific area in a whole supply chain and then within the company or the organization. Or we can even say that internal traceability is the control of the movement of parts or products within a specific limited area in the entire supply chain, such as a company or the manufacturing unit. But that was not the case in an external traceability system. So now, based on the direction, it is classified into forward traceability as well as backward traceability. Let us see what are these. The forward traceability, the function of traceability, tracing a raw material or ingredient or packing material from the point of receipt through the system and is linked to the finished products. That is the case about forward traceability. Whereas in case of backward traceability, it refers to a company's ability to trace an end product back to all of its ingredients and establish the purposes for which the remainder of these ingredients were used. Example, in the event of a serious customer complaint with food safety implications. So the backward traceability starts with the end product and going back to the ingredients or the whichever uh, things have been added to this. So it may also cover the prerequisite information pertaining to the respective supplier. The function of tracing a shipment of finished products back to the individual component ingredients or materials. So it is basically involving all this. Now to ensure the proper traceability, we usually the organizations and companies uses various technological innovations. So for traceability, various symbols are used to identify the parts and the products. In the production control states, identification symbols such as characters and 2D codes are used to record the delivery status, production and procurement plans, shipment plan, achievement rates, inventory quantities, and even the other informations. And for the proper implementation of this, technologies to accurately recognize identification symbols have become very important. And the driving force behind this expansion of traceability is clearly because of the breakthrough in IT technologies that has provided with high accuracy in marking and reading the techniques, and it has allowed comprehensive handling of sensitive information. So the most common technology that is used is product identification. Product identification is a broad category of labeling that includes functions such as product traceability, brand protection, and various information labels. Product traceability provides the ability to track a product through the manufacturing process and to the end user. And in a perfect system, a product in the hands of a customer can be traced backward through the delivery, shipment, manufacturing, and the raw material purchasing process such that the supplies of the original raw material can be identified. And product traceability requires product identification labels, usually incorporating an identification number or barcode. These are mostly important. It needs to have an identification number or a barcode. And identification labels may be used to identify batches or individual items as well. Now, the next technology is RFID tagging. RFID tags are basically a fundamental component of any internal traceability system. They use the radio frequency to transmit the information that is contained in them to a reader to identify an asset. Through radio frequency, the tags transmit data from the tag to the reader, which receives the information and is used for convenience. RFID tags does not have barcodes irrespective of not irrespective, it does not have any barcodes unlike the product identification techniques. They are built with an antenna, a radio transducer, and an encapsulated material or chip. So we have we have seen the what is traceability, why it is important, and what are the techniques, the most common techniques also that is used in traceability. But then there are few problems or hurdles that is associated with implementing the proper traceability systems. So that include mainly the cost that is associated with putting the traceability systems into place are mostly seen as an obstacle for the supply chain actors, especially in case of small scale producers from the less developed countries. That is one of the important uh, obstacles. Then another challenge with the traceability is the supply chain traceability is the exchange of information in a standardized format between various links in the chain. And this information needs to be exchanged in a precise, effective, and electronic manner. Also, traceability concerns many products in the food industry. So, bulk produce is found more challenging to trace than a fresh produce. So, products such as grains, coffee, olive oil, rice, and milk from multiple farms are combined in silos and storage tanks and making it quite difficult to trace them back to their source. So, these are some of the very uh, common as well as very important hurdles for implementing an effective food traceability system. So, therefore, let us conclude by saying that increasing requirements for food safety as well as growing demand for food characterized by a certain identity call for the development of increasingly large and efficient traceability systems. So, food traceability system is a system to basically trace back the food and the information. Food traceability system can help to trace problems related to the food and let the consumer get the complete information and purchase safety about the food. In the near future, RFID and sensor-based systems will be widely used not only for tracking the goods but also for monitoring the quality of the products and the supply chain itself. These are some of the references that can be used for again reading on the same topic or for the advanced reading. Thank you.